Always trying to save, both during highs and lows.
And low. So maybe I'd like to mention that financial discipline is a personal decision that you make. So despite the season, you need to stay committed to this decision that you've made. So January being difficult, just know everybody is feeling what you're feeling. So, but we have to stick to the plan. So we decide how much we need to put aside despite the season, and you push through. What we need to do is cut back on certain expenses that we said are not really needs. Focus on the needs and start now. Start small. Nobody is saying start with obscene amounts. Where you are is where you should start. And I think it's important to start even when things are extremely tight. That is when you build resilience, financial resilience. You'll know that despite the season, we have to start where we are. So one of the things you could do is automate your savings, find a way to have a consistent deduction. When I undertook the financial literacy training course by the Bank of Uganda, I made a personal choice to start saving, and what was the easiest way was to join SACCOs, we have a SACCO at work. So I immediately enrolled into that, or you get an investment club, and know that every time I earn, it is deducted, either automatically, because first I started out by withdrawing and then physically depositing it on the other side. That became hard. Sometimes I would keep it in my bag and then it disappears. So you could automate and put some certain instructions maybe to your source of income and say this goes here and this goes here. And then you don't actually feel it. It no longer becomes part of the income. It goes at source. They call it at source.
Yes. Deduct at source.
Deduct at source. Yeah. So it's important to help us get into the discipline of saving. There's something about money dropping into your account that causes a lot of havoc. Naturally, I would like to give you an example of a friend of mine. I will not mention their name, but every time salary came, they became disorganized. They could not do anything until the money is gone, and then they'll settle down. So earning as soon as you earn is very important before everything else is spent, because we are saving now for a time in the future when we may not be able to earn, or when something happens as an emergency that you totally did not see coming. So saving as soon as you earn is a very, very important financial discipline.
That I take, and it's easy for us who they can just deduct. Me, I'm here, we have a flow of accounts. They just take, and we take my money, and I don't have to think about it much.
So, like you said, investment is a term we use to refer to growing of our money. So what comes to my mind, or what we normally tell Ugandans about investment, is that, first of all, the most important thing is the money available at your disposal. How much money do you have? And what's your risk appetite? Are you somebody who takes on big risks? Are you someone who's risk averse? Availability, do you have time to sit and see your investment grow, or you're somebody who needs a hands-off kind of investment vehicle? Or are you somebody who has a passion or a talent? Like Pumla is now a fully fledged content. Yeah. We call her celebrity, And by the way, Pumla, thank you for this podcast. Yeah. I like that it's really taking shape and reaching so many Ugandans. So use your God-given talent or passion and skill to look for investment ideas. So the amount of money, the risk you're willing to take on, and the passion and your availability. Don't be an office person and you want to take on a retail business where you're not. You lose all your money. Yes.
Do you have an experience you want to share with us?
Speaking from experience. Speaking from experience, where you're not able to track what is coming in and what is coming out in real time, stay away from that one.
Yeah.
And reflecting on when mobile money started about 15 years ago, reflecting on 2009, we only knew banking. But with mobile money coming on board, people realize that they can actually work with their money everywhere they go. Yes. You know, I don't need to carry cash. I just need to have some money on my mobile wallet. How it has transformed lives is that people now have the ability to move without cash. And businesses, more important, businesses have the ability to conduct their businesses without moving anywhere. You know, and also there's a study that was done that says when people pay electronically, they spend more. So businesses that are accepting mobile money payments or digital payments for that matter are able to receive more or sell more items compared to those that rely on cash. So you mentioned very well, we keep saying or telling people when you spend with a plan. You know, it's not that when you have money, you have to just spend. But there are times when you go to do shopping and you realize that you needed to buy something, but the actual cash is not there. So there you run for mobile money as an option to utilize in purchasing something which is important to you. It's not that when you have money, you just have to spend. That worry is not only for the individuals, even the central bank, in this case, Bank of Uganda. Issues around fraud erodes the trust that someone may have. You know, if I have my cash in the pocket, I'm only worried about someone coming to either beat me up and take the money. But with digital payments, you're actually in charge of your funds, which is on the account.
Yeah, working bank.
Just an illustration, when you go to a bank, they'll ask for your ID to verify that you are Pumla. They'll also look at your face, check what is in the system before they make a payment after signing. Now, with a digital payment or a digital wallet, you are doing all that the bank does. Yes. Safety of your PIN is very paramount. Yes. You know, how you save your PIN. There are cases where you see people saving PIN as PIN on their phone.
Oh, no.
You know? So you lose a phone, somebody accesses, is able to utilize the funds. Because we're a digital device, it doesn't recognize whether it's Alex or Pumla. Yes. It's the instructions that you give it. When you give it the right instruction, it accepts. So one of the most important things is guarding your device in itself, in terms of protecting yourself, for it not to be stolen. Then the second one is making sure that you have different ways of protecting your PIN, which is the personal identification number that is given to you. Yes. But we've also seen on the side of the providers, in some instances, doing more than one way of verification. Yes. You can either enter your PIN, then at transaction level, you have a one-time password or PIN that you again enter. That helps a lot. But overall, what I can say is that the most important for you as a consumer is to guard your credentials well.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much once again for coming through for the Gender Inclusive Financing and Innovations Expo. And we want to welcome you, Honorable Matia Kasaija. Thank you so much for sparing your time to be with us right here for this expo as we talk about gender.
Private Sector Foundation to have convened in collaboration.
Good morning, ladies and
with
gentlemen.
The Ministry of Gender and the World Bank.
You are most welcome to this very important engagement, which is the Annual Financial Inclusion Forum 2025. And want to thank all of you who have kept time so that this engagement can proceed as planned. My name is Robert Wagonza, and I'm your MC today. And my role is quite a simple one, just to make sure that we manage the program seamlessly. And the program which probably was shared with us earlier will be read to you later, but there are a few preliminaries that we need to close. For those of us who are still taking break tea, please summarize that session, because we are going to transition from the break tea session to a more serious session, which is the core business of the day. That is one. Please ensure that you've registered with us. We have a team at the entrance. There is a QR code that you're supposed to scan. Please make sure that you've given us your details so that we have a full record of who has attended today's event. In case you get challenges, the team is available to support. Let us know, and they will support you to make sure that you can fully register. And then 3, in case of any emergency, just put up your hand. Irrespective of what is going on at that particular time, we'll come to you and make sure that we attend to you. Just in case you see temperatures rising, or if you see yourself get unwell, or if you see your neighbor, getting into that situation which is not necessarily good, please let us know so that we can support that person. And for safety, in case of any emergency, we have different doors that we can use to exit and go to the fire assembly point, just in case and just in case. Today we are talking about financial inclusion, and not just financial inclusion, but access to usage, advancing inclusive financial product uptake in Uganda. And once again, I want to thank you so much for sparing time to join us. We have a Wi-Fi password. Each table has this sheet that you can, where you can get the Wi-Fi details so that you can get connected. We'll just hold on for a few minutes for the key officials to arrive, and then we'll get started officially. But for now, we are going to play a video on the GROW project. And I also appeal to those who are outside to come back so that you're able to follow this video. So we'll play the video shortly for us to appreciate what the government of Uganda has done in that area of the GROW project to ensure that there is gender inclusiveness in as far as access and usage of financial services are concerned. So we'll pause for now and have that video played, and then we'll come back to officially start our engagement of the day. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much once again for coming through for the Gender Inclusive Financing and Innovations Expo. And we want to welcome you, Honorable Matia Kasaija. Thank you so much for sparing your time to be with us right here for this expo as we talk about gender inclusive financing.
We are very pleased to let you know that GROW has picked momentum. We have started skilling women in entrepreneurship training after curriculum was developed with the Makerere University Business School. On the 30th of this month, that product was launched, and so we've started training women.
Today is a delightful day, and we are pleased at Private Sector Foundation to have convened in collaboration with the Ministry of Gender and the World Bank this expo themed Catalyzing Innovation for Gender Inclusive Finance. The expo, which is part of the broader efforts of the GROW project, seeks to address the persistent barriers to women's access to affordable financing in our country.
This expo is very timely because we are looking at how do we harness technology, how do we harness solutions that are supporting women financing to complement the other components that will be teaching our women on entrepreneurship and profit and all the other aspects related to business enterprises.
When women thrive, the nations prosper. You are the mother of nations. We must ask, what financing models truly work for rural women and informal entrepreneurs? How do we support women moving from micro to medium scale? Together, let us commit to co-creating a financial system that works for all Ugandans, especially for women who have been left behind for far too long.
This session, it's about unlocking capital for women enterprises and how we got here.
If you're thinking about capital and how to deploy capital, you have to think about the type of businesses that are coming from the market.
90% of women are responsible for making primary health care decisions when it comes to a household, when it comes to a workplace. 90%.
We were pioneers in setting up peer-led investor clubs that bring women into finance decision-making, to say that we believe in technical skills, but also in soft skills. When you provide that to women, you help their businesses grow.
Our next conversation is going to be around Islamic banking. When you talk about Islamic financing, we are basically talking about that sector, that financing bit of it, which adhere to the Sharia law.
Over the course of this expo, we've had the privilege to witness the power of ideas, collaboration, and innovation in addressing one of the most persistent barriers to women economic empowerment, and that is access to finance.
Change does not happen in a two-day event. Change doesn't even happen over a few months. It takes a lot of work to do some things. And fundamentally, what we're talking about, if we want system change, is we need financing women entrepreneurs as a business line at a bank, where you are promoted for being successful in that, not demoted by being put into it.
We're thinking about all the constraints that women might face. It's not just finance. Maybe there's a skills gap. Maybe there's networks that you need to think about. Maybe it's access to markets. Maybe it's social norms. Lending to women is not just about gender equity. There's so much potential with growth in the country, and Wendy talked about women also employ other women in their businesses.
I'm honored to share a message for this timely and important gender inclusive financing and innovation expo. The World Bank is committed to support solutions that remove those barriers, from policy reform and regulatory change to collaboration and innovation that brings finance closer to women entrepreneurs. Events like this expo shows that what is possible when government, financial institutions and the private sector work together. It is not just about expanding access, it is about shifting mindsets and designing systems that truly work for women. Let's continue to push for inclusive solutions. Financial inclusion isn't just beneficial for women. It is also crucial for growth, resilience, and self-prosperity.
So that was a video to help us appreciate inclusive financing, especially to take care of the women in this country. And you could see the stories we are getting, but also the confirmation from the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development that really without women, we cannot go any further. So, and today, this is in line with the theme that we are following today. So we will just settle in. Those who are still outside taking tea, we'll give you a few minutes to come back so that we can officially get started with our program of the day. But just remind you that this is a very high-level event organized by the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development together with the Bank of Uganda, and it's the Annual Financial Inclusion Forum 2025. So I want to thank you all for sparing time for attending this engagement. We also want to recognize those who are joining us virtually. We know with the technology now, we cannot afford to be all physically present for such an engagement. So we have a big following on YouTube. We also have a big following on Microsoft, via Microsoft meeting, and want to recognize you. And we also request that you be patient with us while we plan to officially start with our program of the day. So our online participants, we do recognize your presence. Thank you so much for sparing time and data to be with us today. Thank you. We'll have a bit of an interlude while we wait to officially start.
Nze unaalinga nkalo kuingira mu PDM naonanga mu ngeri ya kulima ngandima n'engalo ekyo kibiina okyayizire ne tuyingira omu kibiina ekyo ne kituwe sente tugulo okisonga nga izwire kisonga oyo nabyala kisonga oyo oli yabyaire onte numi ne tukulya onte waiso oyo numi itwakulira onte waiso oyo numi ne tumutundamu tufunamu ente gitya ibiri nenga jonjo na numi twabaire n'embago yaiswaina omunyumba tutandika omulimo gwa kusibaniki ente ejo nga tulima era saajo ntuli kusa embere gina baire myakole niki yakyukiremu kubanga nsiba nte jange ninjaba nindima tindima n'engalo kale nze embere yakolere nki yakyukiremu no umbanga omuntu aizira ati kumulimiraku nkwata ente jange ninja ani mulimiraku nampaako niki akasente nikabanga kayamba abaana kuki okwisomero onto oyo yabyaire onto gondi ejiyayiririe iye yali mulusi nintunda onto oyo nimba omwana wange yala alikola niki alikuwa okolo S4 kale ebyo byobyo nanga nebali omukama era ni nebali ano Museveni okuleta ekibiina ekyo nampaako niki akasente nimbanga ndikusa ndi ukozesa niki akasente ako Ntati ane pulani gye tuli nayo tutaka kufuna emisiri emigazi tubenga tugaziyaako okola niki okulima tufunemu akasente akasomesya abaana nakeyongera okuzimba kuniki amaka gaisu nokublastinga niki enyumba yaisu. Ndi ukubiriza ndi kuba mulanga nte government yeyongera okubanga ekola niki etuyamba. Nafuniremu kubanga sente giyampaire nakole niki nafuniremu era ndi uganyurwamu n'embeere ginabairemu nakole niki nagizwiremu.
Ngaka president da PDM umegwena linkola wale watyanka yeitaka lyamatafa inja namukubira yamba kusente nakozesako ayo okubona president da PDM kuba na nendo kola ainga capital neiba wange yanguza kukuba no nimpolota yanguza kukwano yanguza kwano kupolota yampangisa awo kulimira olwampangisa namukwa yampangisa emitwalo 2.5 olwamala ekyo nalima okulima ko nakozesa maani gange kuba nene n'okulima ate amaani ninago aye ngawo okulima nzira najayo namugulako ebikolo 5 ebikolo eda 5 ekikolo yanguzanga 2,500 ede emitwalo 2.5 namuwa naita ebikolo aga 5 nasimisako ebiina emitwalo 5 olwamala okusimisa ebiina emitwalo 5 ekyo kyawakana bulinda bwakulamu obutuka mu stage ey'okula awo bwaba buli kumanda emiti nalya nagula emiti nagula ebikondo 10 ebikondo 10 edo ekikondo banguza nga 10 ede emitwalo 10 olwamala ekyo nabuleka bwalanda obulanda bwatuka ku step ey'ekitanda bwatuka ku step ey'ekitanda nga buli kumanda wuzi nagema emitwalo 2.5 nagula wuzi banse yasigalawo nagulaku obulezi eibumba nibanange abamberesako okwalira otandiro okuba lusumbu wabo omulato sobola oluvannyuma lw'emyezi 8 nakungula enkungula natwala mu tukiro dange 10 kungula olusoka nafuna kilo 10 natunakana nabwali bwa beeyi nafuna emitwalo dange 8 emitwalo dange de 8 nagulako embuzi 2 kalimba kange kali katono nga kamabaati 5 nga kamabaati 4 nayongera kamabaati 4 kaisa n'ennyumba ya mabaati 8 banse yasigalawo nagulako ensigo y'obutungulu n'ensigo y'endagi dawaawo ono golsooka n'olwokubiri nakanogaku ekiro 6 ekiro 6 ekiro ngitunze mutwalo napa emitwalo dange 6 ede emitwalo dange 6 napangisa kuwale napangisa kawandi emitwalo 3.5 banse yasigalawo nagulaku wuzi nagulaku ebikondo kale nabanga awo wentuuse ate nsuubire kuba era olugolo okubiri kuba lukaali kolaki lukaali kuwaaku ekitegeeza wenaweeraku nabanfuniyeyo nakate kange ka mitwalo 4 olugolo okubiri nga lukoze ekive nga luwaire kyensuubire okula mu maiso ekisooka eno okwaya nenfunaku esente nsubira okwaya nenadayeku nzimeku oluyimba olw'enkoko ndayeku enkoko, nzimeku oluyimba olw'embuzi ndayeku embuzi, nzimeku oluyimba nzimeku n'oluyimba olw'ente ndayeku kunente, zimbeku kunenumba kuba akalimba kenimu katono ino nzaniwenta bintu kuba project yange nabo emaze okula ngaawo niwe nfunayoku emotoka netandikanga okutunudako okutabuza obutundu obwo kugulaku banange oba amatooka ago naja natwala mu tawuni n'amadoka nembanga nga ngaziremu nga nguzeku eitaka esingaku ku ino yenalyo mbanja simbaka amatooka ngayikanamba nakubiriza bavubuka banange esawa ed'okola tulekere okuwona mu senta okuwona ku luddo kuba oluddo okuza amatatu tukere nga tukolengaku.
Akaba mfite imyaka 69 akaba nshima president waduhaye PM kuko tubone kugira ngo tugire intunguka tuve mu bukene. Mbere ataraduha isende ntaho twahingaga ubutunguru nk'ubu. President cyo mukundira izo sende namara kuzibona nagiraga isende nkeya gahinga utwaka tukaba dukeya ariko banyongereho miliyoni ubwo ndandika kubona intunguka nini. Ndaza ndahinga uko ikibina canje cakoranya namba fasiti miliyoni yampaye bampaye nayiguzemo ikiro cy'ubutunguru uko bya biri ku beyi. Ikiro cy'ubutunguru nkiguze ndagihinga ndagisesa ariko gihuramo n'akazuba tibwaza neza. Ubwo rero buje mbona miliyoni zanje 3 kuko byari bikiri hasi. Bimaje kugira ndongera ndahinga umurundi ya kabiri mbona miliyoni 25. Ndaza ndandika kubaka isitowa ngiyi mfite imiryango enye. Ubwo ugeze hagati nabwo ugomba mukunaniramo akantu ndongera ndahinga. Tugeze bahati akabeyi karasa mbona miliyoni 30. Ariko ubu ngo nshaka byare nkaba mbikibikeneye cyane. Ubutunguru bugaragara nk'ubwaturatanye murabureba hano buriho burarase dushaka ngo mudushakire n'isoko noneho tugira intunguka cyane. Izo sende rero nk'ubu mbonye izindi nkweza tukabona izindi sende nashaka mu rugo. Ubwo rero ikindi ngikeneye kuri government agashamba kacu agataka kacu ni gake ariko nubwo ari gake ituboneye n'amafumbire tukayizira tuzanira tukabigurira bugufi mu masito hano bagapanga hano mu masito ifumbire nubwo ari gake kakwera kuruta ibintu. Agataka kacu ni keza kegamiye ishamba kagira imbeho n'igihe kindi muci ntabikunze kuma cyane. Aho tukeza hariho n'ubusimba buteye bw'ubweru buri kugenda buraduturura bugafata yanze gukura ku mwanya ubwo bukoko turugufurira ubudagara dukoreshaga ntibupfa. Twakagize government kadushakira irindi dagara bugapfa twakira tukava mu bukene tukabonera tukagira amazu meza tugakaraba tukambara amasuti tugasanga tunezerewe kuko ubwo ibintu abiriho abantu baranezerwa tukarya tukabyibuha.
Thank you very much. That was a video about parish development model, just to document stories, success stories of the beneficiaries of parish development model in different parts of the country. I know they are in the local language, but that was intentional so that we appreciate that the parish development model funds have actually reached the last mile person. So in the case language barrier was an issue, you'll forgive us, but we can always translate later, but that was meant to help us appreciate the progress that has been made thus far in parish development model. I want to recognize the presence of the Director of Financial Markets Development, Gloria Gasasira, here with us, Bank of Uganda. Thank you, Gloria, for coming. We have the Director, National Payment Systems Department, Mr. Andrew Kawere, and he has been at the center of organizing this annual financial inclusion. Let's recognize him with a round of applause. Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew Kawere. We do most sincerely appreciate all the effort that has been put in organizing this. We want to recognize our moderators of the different panels that we are scheduled to have today. Quite a number of them. We do recognize you, and we'll later have to tell you the names. We also want to recognize the different discussants for the 3 panels that we are going to have today. They are already with us, and I'm sure soon you'll be hearing from them. So just to run through our program of the day as we settle in, the theme for today's engagement is access to usage, advancing inclusive financial product uptake in Uganda. And this is important because while we made very good progress in the National Financial Inclusion Strategy 1 and access increased to 81%, we need to see how we can translate this access into usage. Because having a bank account, for example, does not necessarily mean that somebody or the account holder is actually utilizing that bank account. So the focus is going to be on going into access to make sure that we have financial products and services not only accessed but also used by the financial consumers. And the program will start with the opening remarks, and these will be delivered by the Governor, Bank of Uganda. After that, we'll hear from the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and we'll go into session 1 of the video featuring the Director, National Payment Systems Department at the Bank of Uganda, who is already here with us for us to appreciate the progress that we have made thus far. I want to pause a little bit and recognize the working group chairpersons who are here with us. We have Group 1 working group chairperson is Michael Tony Mbusa from Finca. Michael, we do welcome you over there. Thank you so much for coming, Michael. Want to recognize Group 2 chair, who is Vincent Tumwijuche, chairperson of FITSPA as well. Thank you so much for coming, Vincent. Group 3, working Group 3 chairperson is Patricia Amito, a very familiar face from the Uganda Bankers Association. Thank you so much, Patricia, for coming. Working Group 4 chairperson is Kefa Kato from IRA. Thank you so much, Kefa, for coming. And lastly, Group 5 chairperson is none other than Mr. Innocent Kawoya. He's closely associated with high people. So those are the group, working group chairperson that we have today. Back to the program after the remarks, and we've had a video, we'll go into the panel discussions. We have 3 panel sessions that we have today. The first one is going to be on designing inclusive financial products for the unserved and underserved. And the moderator is going to be none other than Rashmi Pillai. Rashmi, I want to recognize you if you're already here with us. Rashmi Pillai, over there. Thank you so much for coming. Very passionate about matters of financial inclusion. Thank you so much for coming, Rashmi. And we have different panelists, namely Helen Kirungi. If you're here, you stand up for recognition. Thank you for coming, Helen. Mr. Joseph Mugume, who is also the CEO, Ebo Sako. the very first circle to be licensed, regulated, and supervised by the Bank of Uganda. Thank you so much for coming, Joseph. Mr. Golova Kezekia Luanga, who is quite passionate about the parish development model. Thank you. And Mr. Julius Kaketo from Pearl Bank, formerly Post Bank. Now we talk about Pearl Bank, which is located in the Pearl of Africa. Thank you for coming. The second session will be on mainstreaming green financial instruments for a climate resilient Uganda. And the moderator will be Ms. Goret Masade, who is the CEO, Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services. And the members will be Mr. Andrew Kawere. I had already recognized him, but once again, as a panelist, Andrew Kawere, I want to recognize you that you're a panelist for this session, which is going to be on enhancing. And Andrew is a member of the panel discussion on enhancing consumer trust in financial services in Uganda. And then we have the other members for that particular panel, who are Mr. Musiho Hussein, the Principal Commercial Officer, MTIC. We have Mrs. Rita F. Nansafi Waswa from Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority. We have Ms. Teopista Ntale Sechito from Nshuti Financial Ombudsman Services. That will be panel 4. But to go back to session 3, we have Patricia Amito as a member. We have Mr. Mona Muguma Sebuliba as a member. Okay, I beg your pardon on the pronunciation of some of the names here. Okay. So Miss Patricia Amito will be the member, and then we have Miss Mona Muguma Sebuliba, also a member. We have Mr. James Muhwezi as a member. We have Ms. Gloria Gasasira, who is also Director of Financial Markets Development at the Bank of Uganda, as a member of Session 3 panel discussion, and their topic is mainstreaming green financial instruments for climate resilient Uganda. And the moderator once again for that session is none other than Ms. Goret Masade, the CEO of Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services. So majorly those are the 3 panel discussions that we're going to have today. And just to let you know that we'll have interactive sessions in between, during which you can ask any question and make any comment regarding the theme of the day, which is access to usage, advancing inclusive financial products uptake in Uganda. So if you have any comments that you want to make, you'll have that opportunity to do so. At this juncture, I want to recognize the Commissioner, Financial Services Department, Mr. Moses Ogwapus. This name disturbs me in pronouncing it. Mr. Moses Ogwapus, I got it right, Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Moses, you are most welcome. Want to recognize Mrs. Edith Tusubira, who is the Commissioner, Financial Regulation Department, formerly UMRA. Thank you so much, Edith, for coming. And also want to recognize some of the CEOs who are already in the house. Once again, want to recognize Mr. Julius Kaketo from the CEO of Pearl Bank. Our bank. Okay, as a regulator, I'm constrained to. Then we also want to recognize Ms. Mona Sebuliba, the CEO of Abby Finance. So thank you for coming. All right, so to proceed with our program, it will be very important to collect views from the people attending this high-level event today regarding the theme of the day, but also their perspectives on the issue of the day, which is access to usage, advancing inclusive financial product uptake in Uganda. So I'll request Paul to get me a handheld microphone so that we have that, but also in the meantime, we have microphones on the tables. So I'll be randomly selecting people to give us their views about the theme of the day, and then we get to appreciate if we are moving together. And also I would request the people who are still outside to kindly get in because we have actually started. Thank you. So I'll move to the table which is nearest to me and seek their views on the theme of the day. Yes, so want to pick the views of the participants on this table regarding financial inclusion. What do you love most about financial inclusion? And if you were given a chance to be the person in charge of financial inclusion in Uganda, what is one thing that you would change? I will start with the ladies first. The microphone there. Your name and
Thank you very much. My name is Doreen Navka from High People. I think I would build infrastructure. Thank you.
You are quite precise and concise. Okay, your neighbor, share your perspective on financial inclusion and what you're most passionate about when it comes to financial inclusion.
Thank you so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Innocent Kaoya from High People. One thing I'm very passionate about in this day and very many years to come about financial inclusion is leveraging interoperability as a rail to ensure we advance affordable financial inclusion for everyone.
Thank you very much for sharing your perspectives regarding the theme of the day. At this moment, please let us stand up and recognize the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development of the Republic of Uganda, the Honorable Matia Kasaija. Colleagues, money has come. And we want to recognize the Deputy Governor, the Bank of Uganda, Professor Augustus Nwagaba. You may get seated. Honorable Minister, today is a special day. It's the day when we get to reflect on financial inclusion. It's the day when we recognize the key players who have worked with us this financial inclusion journey. The financial landscape is changing. Today we talk about things like inclusive finance. We are talking about things like universal financial access. We are talking about things like broad-based financial access and usage. We are talking about inclusive banking. We are talking about economic inclusion, banking inclusion, financial empowerment, trust from financial consumers, digital financial inclusion. We are talking about financial integration. We are talking about affordable financial services. So today, these participants have gathered here so that we can reflect on this very important theme of the day, which is access to usage, advancing inclusive financial product uptake in Uganda, a very relevant theme that we all need to reflect on today. Honorable Minister and Deputy Governor, please allow me to recognize some of the people who have arrived and they are with us here today. We want to recognize the different players in this journey of financial inclusion and each of the roles that they have played for us to reach thus far. But Honorable Minister and Deputy Governor, since this is a high-level event and it's a national event, it would be important for us to first honor the country by singing the anthem. So I'm going to request the DJ to do the needful as we all stand up and we sing the anthem. Anthems guided by the DJ. We may need to sing verbatim because the person in charge of the public address system is a bit slow, matters of technology. All right. So we'll sing verbatim, starting with
Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hand. United, free, for liberty, together we always stand.
Utaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you very much. We remain standing for the word of prayer. I'm going to randomly select Mr. Richard Kirungi Ndianabo from the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to come and lead us in a word of prayer. Mr. Richard Kirungi Ndianabo works with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development and is been part of the organizing team. So Richard, you could come forward and lead us in a word of prayer so that we start this high-level engagement with blessings from God. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you, MC. Let's humble ourselves for a prayer. Almighty God, we thank you for the gift of life. We also thank you for the trust you've given us to lead this country. We pray that as we engage in this National Financial Inclusion Forum, you come amidst us to give us glory and work for the people of Uganda so that they are financially included. We thank this and pray in the name of your Lord. Thank you.
You may get seated. Thank you so much, Mr. Richard Kirungi Ndianabo, for leading us in that word of prayer. God bless you. So back to the program, Honorable Minister. Our program of the day is supposed to start with remarks from the Governor Bank of Uganda, and the Governor today is represented by the Deputy Governor, who is Professor Augustus Nwagaba, and after that, Honorable Minister, to give us your remarks today regarding the theme of the day. There is a video documenting the journey of financial inclusion in Uganda, what has been achieved to date, and what more needs to be done going forward. That video will be played for you, Honorable Minister. And also, there is a video on parish development model for us to appreciate the role that the government of Uganda has played in ensuring that there is not only access, but also usage of financial services in the country. So we'll play that documentary, and then we'll request Honorable Minister that at that juncture, before you go, you'll perform for us two things. One,